Hi there, my name is Matt Cole.
And I'm Brian Garrity.
And we are the producers of the Sexperts Podcast, and we have a very special guest. She considers herself F-list, but I consider her A-list. Welcome, for the very first time, Laura Watkins.
Thank you. What an intro.
I know, I've been working on it all day. Between watching The Queen's Gambit and doing actual work and working on your intro.
I have to edit one more version of this intro.
So for those people who aren't in the know about who you are, Laura, what do you do? What are you known best for, and what kinds of work can we see you do, and when can we hire you, and all that stuff?
I guess people would best know me as a writer. So I used to work at the Virginian Pilot, and I had a blog, was ceremoniously laid off, and then got to Alt Daily, and that folded. And most of the things I do fold. And now I just write occasionally on the internet. I'm a corporate writer.
Nice.
So I sold my soul to corporate America and never looked back.
That's okay. So did Black Flag. I don't know.
So did Dylan when he plugged in.
Yeah.
Did you see what Dylan just sold his?
Right. Yeah. So if Dylan does it, you can too. What, 300? Yeah. No. Was it
300 something million for his
million
song publishing rights? Yeah.
You know, it's so weird that there's some people in the world that that have trillions of dollars at this point. And I almost it was said that he sold it for $3 billion, and I'm like, is that right or is that not right? Like, but can you imagine having anything worth $300 million? That's insane. I'm sorry, going on a tangent.
How much are we paying you? Right. Are we at $1 million yet?
Okay. Well, yeah. What for those of you listeners out there who aren't familiar, what kind of writing? What's your kind of style? What do you like to write about?
When you're not corporate writing.
When I'm not corporate writing, I guess comedic would be the safest thing to say. I write a lot about vaginas.
Most of what I know about vaginas was from her column.
That's great. Why vaginas?
Why not vaginas?
I agree. And
normalize vagina writing.
Yeah. And I have to say, I would probably gush all over you, which I don't know why I said it like that.
If I had a nickel.
I don't know what's coming out of my mouth at this point, but you were an awesome very first guest on a show that Brian Garrity was the brainchild of called Real Funny. It was our show that we put on Improv. We do live streams every Friday and Saturday night, 8 p.m. That's a plug. And Real Funny is kind of like an anti-stand-up show or an unvariety show, but guests come on and do whatever the fuck they want. And you really, really wowed us, wowed the audience. And the reason why I bring this up is you talked about making vagina hand puppets, and I thought it was so goddamn clever.
Thank you. My late mother was very proud.
I particularly like the backstories of the vaginas.
Yes. Yeah.
Thank you.
Well,
I'm glad it went over well.
Yeah. And actually, Brian, mark it. We got to have her back on.
Oh, I've invited her, I think, every month except for this month, because when I invited her last month, she mentioned she wouldn't be able to do it this month.
Well, way to fucking call her out. Now she's never going to come back, you jerk.
But 2021.
No, it's going to happen.
Totally in.
And I also have invited her father.
Yes.
Which you don't know this, Matt.
Oh.
My dad is a comedian in his own right.
Oh, neat. Wait, is this real? What is this, bro? I don't know what
her dad is a very funny character.
Oh. Yeah.
And I'm a big fan of Laura's tweets and Facebook messages where she describes like things he said or interactions he's had with people or stories about him, to the point where I just thought if he got in front of a laptop camera and a microphone and talked for 5 minutes about whatever he wanted to, it would kill.
I agree.
So I'm hoping to make that happen sometime before the vaccination as well. So if the government's listening, could slow that vaccine down.
Operation Slow Your Roll.
Operation We Still Got Work to Do on the live streams.
Because we're shutting this operation down as soon as we get vaccinated.
Second injection goes in me, I'm never live streaming again for the rest of my life.
Live stream to the vaccine. After that, you're on your own. What is his humor? Is it also vaginas or what's going on?
No, my dad doesn't necessarily always mean to be funny. So he is a 73-year-old former Marine who has become very, very progressive in his later years, which is opposite of how most people's trajectory typically is.
Yeah.
So he dates all the time. He's a total poon hound. So I always hear about his antics. It's kind of like having a dad / like 14-year-old friend.
Oh my God.
Who asks for like dating advice and things. So he recently had heart surgery. And I was in with him at the hospital, and you can only have one person there.
Yeah.
One of his girlfriends called up to the nurse's station to check to see how he was doing. And a nurse had to come in and ask if she could release any information, since obviously she's not kin.
He's like a septuagenarian Ferris Bueller.
Yes.
That is funny.
Correct.
Papa Poonhound. Wow, okay.
Yeah, Papa Poonhound.
No shit.
He's a mess. He's in a very committed relationship with his Alexa.
Is he now? Okay.
Yeah, he's very into his Alexa.
Does he work it well, or does he have hijinks with that thing as well?
Hijinks for sure. Okay. So whenever I call him every Sunday, and every Sunday he likes to remind me that he has an Alexa, which I bought for him several years ago, and I'm well aware of.
Yeah.
So he likes to show it off, and so he'll say, "Alexa, tell me the temperature," and then like waits in anticipation that she tells me the answer every fucking Sunday.
I heard an advertisement for a podcast where the guest was Alexa.
Oh.
And I thought that's not a good idea.
No. Yeah. Thanks for bringing me back down to earth. I was like, oh, that's clever.
That's
was like,
the second worst podcast I've ever heard of, just behind the official Trader Joe's podcast.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
It's advertised quite a bit.
Well, I detected an accent there. A lot of people, when I do impressions of my mom, who's I do it as a Southern belle or whatever. Are you from?
Don't leave us guessing. Let's hear it.
Maddie, I know you're not going to like this advice, but I'm going to tell you, you're going to get a better job if you just cut your hair. That's. She said that yesterday. I actually haven't talked to her for 48 hours. I put her on ice for that. Okay, but I'm cruel. Are you from Virginia originally?
I am, yes.
Oh, okay.
So I was born in Portsmouth, raised in Chesapeake, lived in Norfolk for most of my, I guess, adult life.
So was your dad from around the area too, or?
Dad is from Suffolk.
Well, wow, okay. So he does have an accent.
But Laura escaped. She's made it all the way to Richmond.
All the way to Richmond. Which is really impressive for me. My family does not move. So, yeah.
Yeah. Well,
we're like human glaciers.
So how do you like Richmond? I have a few friends from high school went up for college at VCU, and I kind of never heard from them again. How's Richmond these days? What's it like
Richmond
there?
For you. I love Richmond.
Yeah?
It's just a place where you're completely allowed to be weird. So I feel like I fit in very well. Good art scene, lots of used to be lots of restaurants before, oceaning at the general everything.
Yeah.
It's just a great town. It's just a great little weird town, and I love it here.
Cool. Before pandemic, and maybe after as well, we're able to get around to like the comedy scene, do some clubs or whatever, or what's that kind of like that scene?
Like, what do you like me?
Yeah.
Like as an audience member?
Or as an audience member or performer?
A performer.
Oh no, I have a really good relationship with my dad, so I don't do stand-up comedy.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I thought I had made that clear.
No. That's awesome.
Laura did the storytelling show at Push.
I did.
But that's, to my knowledge, the extent of your comedic performance.
Okay, well, here we go. Then guess what? If you were previously an audience member in the comedy clubs of Richmond, as soon as we get this vaccine, you're going to stop live streaming with us. Yeah, that's going to go away. And you're going to go and you're going to do your thing on stage because you are hilarious.
I'm going to go destroy my relationship with my father.
You not do a stand-up.
Yeah.
I'm not.
You're
Do
doing
improv or sketch.
yeah, improv sketch, or do kind of like what you do on Real Funny and just do vagina puppets. People love that.
Could. I don't know if I can do improv.
Oh, really?
If you get divorced first.
That makes sense.
I don't know about that, but I would. There's no doubt in my mind you could do improv.
Wait, Brian, you do know about that because you started improv after you got divorced.
No, I was speaking to her situation. For me, yes, it definitely worked out in that order. Although there was a time where she tried to hang out at my comedy theater, and that had to be shut down.
Wow, are you positive she doesn't listen to this, Brian? Because that may hurt her feelings if you.
Am I positive she doesn't listen to this? No, I'm not positive. She probably has a dozen friends who listen to it because we're pretty big. But I'd say it to her face. Listen here, Mrs. Garrity, ex-Mrs. Garrity. If the Push Comedy Theater somehow makes it through this goddamn pandemic, back up off. Get your own primarily improv and sketch community theater to hang out at.
Laura, I'm so sorry. It's become the Garrity grievance hour.
It's okay. I've never met anybody who got into improv who didn't have some sort of like personal crisis. Does that tend to be true from what you've seen?
Oh yeah. And if they don't have one when they get into it, they have one, and then they
shortly thereafter.
And then everybody hears about it. And you're like, get in line, sister.
But let's take a step back.
I don't know why we have to, but yeah, sure.
Doesn't everybody have a personal crisis no matter what they're getting into?
No, there's some really well-adjusted people.
Are there well-adjusted people?
Especially in Virginia Beach, they're just all in there. And we're losing 50 listeners right now by saying this, but you Virginia Beachans, you just live in your bubble,
You tell them.
That doesn't ring true to me.
Okay. Anyways, again, enough about us.
But yeah, we're a bunch of sad weirdos in the improv world.
Amen. Well, it's really we're really happy to have you on. Thank you. And again, we want to have you back on Real Funny before we get the vaccine. So
for sure,
slow down, government.
We got to get your dad on quick because he's in the first group that gets to get vaccinated.
I really thought you were going to say in case his heart surgery doesn't stick.
Oh, Jesus.
I would not say that, no.
In case his stint gives out.
No, that's going to hold on for dear life. Where can people who are fans of your humor and stuff, where can they find your writing or anything online?
So my best friend and I are setting up, I think I plugged this during the comedy thing too, and we still haven't gotten the damn thing up, but we are starting a website called classyandbeautiful.com. Cool. My best friend Kate and I write a bunch of, we do sketches, we do short stories, we just do kind of all sorts of odds and ends. We even have a young adult series called Camp Beans.
Oh, cool.
That you can find on there. So we do need to populate it and launch it, but that's at classyandbeautiful.com, and hopefully that will launch maybe in 2021. We'll find out.
That's a great website. Have you bought the website? Do you have it?
Yes.
Okay. That's the first step. Because I mean, if you put that out there, I wouldn't want any of our listeners to be like, "Oh shit, I'm going to buy that website," and then Cyber Squad. Name. It's a great name.
I'm on it.
What's on it, Brian?
Are you on it? Does it have
I just brought it up. It says, just another WordPress site, uncategorized, and it says, so classy, so beautiful. Hello, world. Welcome to WordPress. This is your first post. Edit or delete it, then start writing.
Well, you have tasks before you.
Yeah.
So there's 2 posts.
Oh.
One by Laura on August 5th, 2020.
That's this year.
And it says the title is so classy and the body is so beautiful.
Wow.
Okay. I think that was the test post.
Okay.
Subscribing now.
Well, then all of our listeners will check out classyandbeautiful.com. And anything else you want to put out there in the world? Any plugs or anything like that?
I can't think of any. Wear your mask, I guess. I think that's the only other thing to say.
Yeah, we still have maybe a lot of people still have like a half a year left to get vaccinated and that sort of thing. So yeah, good on you. Wear a mask, everybody. You heard it from Laura Watkins, A-lister, classyandbeautiful.com. Thanks so much. We're on to the episode. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.